In this video, we'll be taking a look at the lights in Cinema 4D. Now, lights are used to simply light your scene in Cinema 4D. When it comes to the object palette, the last icon before the make editable icon, this is where you have your light. By default, the Omni light is the default selected. Okay, it's called Omni light or point light. And we also have the spotlight. And then we have the target light is the same as the spotlight, but it has a target tag on it. And we have the aerial light. We also have PBR light. We have IES light, which uses an IES file to light the scene. And we have the infinite light. It's a light that goes infinite. It's like something that doesn't end. Okay, and we have the sunlight, and we have the physical sky. This is a sky, like the physical sky. Okay, you can use it to light your scene. Okay, so these are the lights, all the lights you can create in Cinema 4D. We also have another light called the object light. It's just an object that has an emission material applied to it. Okay. Let's create a scene, a little scene to demonstrate our light. So we create a plane for our floor, this one. Okay. And then let's add a cube. A cube is big, so let's make it 50 centimeters on all sides. Okay, and let's add some fillets to it to give it the round bevel. Okay, now let's go to the front view and let's make sure that the cube is sitting right on the floor here, like that. Okay, so this is our scene, our simple scene. Okay, so let's start by creating a first light, this point light or Omni light. Okay. It's on the same level on the zero axis, but we have to move it, so let's bring it up like this. Okay, so this is our first light. This is what we call the Omni light. It's the simplest light you can create in Cinema 4D. So when we hit render, you see the light is now lighting our scene. Okay, thank you. You can change the color of the lights. When you come to the attributes manager under the general tab, you have what we call the color. Here you can change the color of the light. Okay, so as you change the color, you see that it's reflecting in your viewport. Okay. Okay, and you can also use the temperature to control the color of the light instead of using the color. The temperature, what it does is it uses a Kelvin. Okay, so 6500 you have daylight, and then when you move upwards, the light gets cool, like you're cooling the light, that it shifts into the blue hue system, and when we are getting lower, it shifting into the orange, the red and orange color system. So that is what using temperature is all about. You can assign the Kelvin value here to have the light color take that Kelvin value. Okay, so let's go back and use the normal color. We have a white. Okay. And then we have the intensity of the light. This is how bright your light is. Okay, so you can change the intensity, or though it's 100%, you can even go higher. So let's say I want to enter 200%. See, it goes higher. Let's set it back to 100. And this is a type of light. You can change the type of light that you created. Though this is a point light or Omni light, you can change it to other types of light. Okay, so with a type you can change it to spot, infinite, area, all those IES, this thing. Okay, and then we have the shadow. Right now our light doesn't have any shadow, so when you render, you see there's the light is here, but there's no shadow dropping on our object. Okay, so when you change the shadow, we have three types of shadow. We have the soft, the shadow mask soft, we have the ray trace hard, and we have the aerial shadow. The shadow mask soft is the fastest shadow the Cinema 4D can render. This is how it's like. This is the shadow. You see, it's soft. The edge is soft. Okay, and it renders very fast because it's like a fake shadow that is being casted. Okay, and it has little to no impact on your CPU speed. So it's mostly used if you want to have faster renders, but it's not physically accurate. Okay. Now we have the ray trace hard. This ray trace hard is like the shadow from a sun, from a sunlight. Okay, this is how it looks like. It's very hard, like the edge is very hard, so it's like the sun is really bright that the shadows doesn't have any softness at the edge. It just give you that hard shadow. Okay, So that is really, really hard. And we have another shadows called the area light. And when you set the shadow of the light to an area light, automatically the light changes to an area light. You see that now it's not just a point light. We have this rectangle around it. This is an area light, and the area light always points in the Z direction. The light always comes from the Z direction. Okay, so in order to affect this, we need to rotate the light here so that the Z direction is actually facing the object that we are lighting. This blue direction is facing this thing. And when you render, let's render, you see how the area light is. Okay, this is the physically accurate light. Okay, it has this fall off. Okay, you see that I don't know if in this video you will see the fall off, but it has this fall off. Okay, so that is what the aerial shadow is for. Okay, let's take it back to Softmaps. Okay, now then we have the visible light. By default it's none. You won't see the light in your view when you render, but if you set it to visible and then you render, you see that you have the lights visible in your viewport. Then the next light system I want to talk about is the physical sky. The physical sky lights you're seeing using a normal physical sky. So with the physical sky selected, inside the attributes manager, under the time and location, you can actually choose the city that you want the sky at that moment. So let's just choose Ghana, Accra, and we have now, okay, the time is 9:40 a.m. so then we see it's reflecting that physical sky at that moment in that city. Okay, so when I hit render, you see this is the time and light and the shadow position at the time that I was using this physical render. So you can set any time, any day, any of it to match the scene, the looks that you're looking for. Okay, and what it does is basically uses a sun and a sky. The sky is created as an environment. Okay, so when you rotate around your view, we see that we have the blue sky, and then when it comes down, we have the kind of gray orangey look. So it's just mimicking a sky and using that to light your scene all around. That is it for the introduction to the light system in Cinema 4D. Thank you and see you in the next video.